Hello, Anton the Wailing Banshee here. Today I got a horror block. This is should be the June version. I'm wearing my May t-shirt. So let's open it up and see what we got. Alright, it's time for the actual opening part. Got my trusty knife. Slide right through the tape. We've got our ever-present, don't open, dead inside. Just a nice little thing they put on the box. I open it up and I am immediately greeted by two pop figures. First one is Vaughn from The Strain, which is one that I already have. I was able to get it really cheap on Amazon. So that's a little bit disappointing, but oh well. And the other one appears to be Angel from Buffy. Don't think there's anything special about it. Let's look at the shirt. Well, it looks like they noticed the Shark Week theme, as this appears to be a Jaws reference shirt. Yep, Amity Island since 1975. Got the shark. And then you've got Orca Deep Sea Charters. It's kind of a nice looking shirt. Now I've got two Jaws shirts. See what else we have. We have a Nightmare on Elm Street pillowcase. I'm guessing it's that little image I'd take out and show you, but I think it might be too big. So it looks like it's a picture of Freddy with some writing probably related to the series. Advertisement. Copy of the movie Turbo Kid. It's one that I haven't heard of. So I'll probably read the description and tell you a little about it in the value section. Then we have the ever-present Rue Morgue. And that looks like all of the items that are in the box. So we got the shirt, which is exclusive, which makes sense because it looks like a shirt they just sort of made up and printed. Regular copy of Turbo Kid on Blu-ray. The Nightmare on Elm Street pillowcase is exclusive. The Rue Morgue is just a copy of Rue Morgue, and then they're calling it a double Funko Pop month. So you had the option of getting either, it looks like, they'll probably just tell me. Alright, I am back with some value. Before I start, there is one item that I didn't mention and I'm not going to be including in my total. So, NerdBlock has started putting in $10 credits for Shirt Punch, which means that you can go to, Shirt Punch and get a lot of items that are similar to stuff that they have in the blocks, and there's some shirt designs. It's basically a company that might even be like the same, I'm not sure. Anyway, they're very closely connected. So they give out these $10 credits, but that is that's sort of like the special deal that you use when you go there. That's the coupon. So it's not actually like a $10 gift card, which would just take off $10, and you could apply some other coupon code if you found one. This is more the coupon code. So you're pretty much going to be paying you might get $10 off the item, but you're probably going to still end up paying shipping. So there's still some money going in. So for that reason, I'm not ever going to include those in the value. So looking back over at the card, since it's a double Funko Pop month, let's start with the Funko Pops. As I said, I got Angel, and as soon as I stopped this video, I realized, well, look on the back. They tell you the other ones in the series. You can just figure out which one's on the back of the card. So it does look like Willow was the other option. Not sure why they didn't go with Buffy as the other option. I was looking at the price for the pop didn't really look like it was that much different. Maybe it's a little bit more for Buffy, so maybe they got a better deal. So either way, the Angel pop figure is averaging somewhere around $13, and the Willow one is about $11. So it's pretty normal for a pop figure. They're just normal pop figures. One thing that I did find slightly annoying, well, kind of annoying, really, is that they start you off sort of here, just randomly sending you this pop figure, and they started you in this collection. And if you wanted to complete the collection, well, some of them have gone up in price significantly. You can still get Buffy, Willow, Oz, and the Gentleman for like $14 or somewhere around like $10 to $14 probably. The Spike ones, on the other hand, are in the 20s. And if you're a Buffy fan, you're probably a fan of Spike and would want to get that one. And you'd have to get the much more expensive one to add to your collection. So that's kind of annoying. The second pop figure that I got was Vaughn from The Strain. The Strain actually is a pretty good show. I don't know how popular it is. I'm definitely waiting for the second season to come to a streaming type place so I can watch it, because I don't have the TV to watch it here. And that one was going for like $10 to $11 on eBay. And the other one in the series, I just went and grabbed mine because I had it. The other one that I got was the other one in the series, so this is the other option that you could have gotten, and I just went and grabbed mine. It's Dr. Ephraim Goodweather, and he's one of the main protagonists in the series. That one was also right around $10 or $11 on eBay. If you go to Amazon, you can get Vaughn, which is the vampire one that I ended up with for, I think it worked at $8.15, so right around the standard price for a pop. Excuse me. Dr. Ephraim Goodweather was listed for $7.14, but that is an add-on item. Amazon does add-on items. They tend to have items that are lower price, but you have to have at least $25 in your cart. And if you buy a lot of things from Amazon, it's not really too much of a deal. And this isn't really a review of Amazon, so that just sort of is what it is. So if you happen to have $25 worth of stuff in your cart, and I'm pretty sure you can have a whole bunch of add-on stuff, because that's kind of what I did at one point, and then you can get that one for $7.14. And so I know that when I got mine, 3 of the 4 of them were add-ons, and the ones that we got, and this is my second one of Vaughn. I can prove it. I'll put them both at the same time. See, 2 of the same ones. When I got mine, it was an add-on, and it was, sorry for going into my cheat sheet here. It was like 507, I think I wrote down. 507 or 502, right around there. Either way, slightly lower. And Dr. Ephraim, which I've already shown. And this is one of the ones that I have. I don't really have a large pop collection. I just happened to see the strain ones on sale and got those. That's why I happen to have these. And that one was $3.95 as an add-on. This one wasn't an option, but it's one of the other ones that's in the set. So it's just a set of 4. This is Abraham Setrakian. It's been a while since I've seen the show, so I kind of forgot how to pronounce the names. But he is another one of the main protagonists. Kind of an awesome old guy. That pop figure was like $3. And the only one that I really had to pay full price for, well, and that one probably was cheaper, is this one, which is the Master. This one's a bit bigger and a bit heavier. And still, that one was only $8. So my guess is that they made these strain pop figures, and there were a lot of them. You know, they didn't necessarily sell as well. It's from a good show, but it's a show that's not necessarily, you know, oriented towards kids. Probably scare them because it is kind of freaky. So, you know, it's not like one of the Disney ones where kids can go out and get them. So that, my guess is they had a whole bunch of them, and Horror Block might have been able to get them kind of cheap. So the next item is the shirt. Whoops. So it's just a shirt that they had printed up. It's Shirt Punch. That's where they get their shirts from, just like that promo code that I mentioned earlier. You know, it's a decent shirt. You might not necessarily get it, seeing as Orca is the giant word. Orca Deep Sea Charters. People might think it's an actual charter boat, and because you got the shark down there, but it doesn't really have the words Amity Island in very large letters, and that's also something you have to see in Jaws to know. And know when it came out, to get these since 1975. Or around when it came out. I'm not sure if it actually came out in 75 or a little bit later, just a couple years later. Either way, it's still a shirt, so it's like just $12 to $15, just a general price for shirts. You know, mine $15 to $18, just because I did have to get it in the larger size. So there's that. Then there's Turbo Kid, which has its pros and cons. Turbo Kid is a movie sort of about 2 kids, I'm guessing teenage aged, who are being harassed by like a sadistic ruler leader guy in a post-apocalyptic world, and they've got some weapon to use as a defense. I don't know. I just read the back. It got accepted to various different film shows. I think the back says it was accepted at an official selection at the Sundance Film Festival. So it made the film circuit. The film circuit, and seemed to do fairly well there. It had a pretty decent rating on IMDb, which I just had to go to look up to try and figure out more about this. And the good news is, this movie is really hard to find. To find a Region 1 and I don't remember what they're called. I know it's A, B, and C. Is it Zone? Maybe. I don't know. Someone can correct me. Or I'll look it up and correct myself. But either way, so either Region 0 for DVD or like Zone 1 Zone A for Blu-ray. Both of those were out of stock, or temporarily out of stock on Amazon. So I don't know how long they're going to be temporarily out of stock, and I had a hard time finding them on eBay. Found a couple people selling them. We're going somewhere between $10.50 and $20. I don't know if they were getting the $20. I know that the $10.50 one did have bids on it, so that one was an actual price that was going out. Of course, all the descriptions that I got in looking for this, aside from one mini one, describe this movie as sci-fi, action-adventure, comedy. All words, other than maybe comedy, that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see in the horror block. This movie might have fit better in the sci-fi block. Maybe just because it's post-apocalyptic, that equates with horror somehow. I'm not sure. So while it seems to be difficult to find, and it looks kind of like an interesting movie, I don't know that I would categorize it as horror. So in that regard, it doesn't really fit in the box. So you got a movie, but it doesn't really fit the theme. It doesn't really fit the horror theme that the box is set around. But it's also hard to find. So maybe you'll be able to sell it if you didn't want it. The Nightmare on Elm Street pillowcase, I couldn't find anything listed. I'm recording this on the day that I got my horror block. Yeah. Sorry, I've got both horror block and horror pack, so trying to keep them straight in my head sometimes makes my brain hurt a little bit. But horror block. Yes, horror block. I opened this the day that it arrived, and I'm in the middle of the country, so I'll probably just add a couple of days for other people, and then subtract a couple of days for people who are further and closer on the East Coast. Actually, I should really double check to see. I think it's somewhere on the East Coast, up in Canada, where it gets sent out. I'm not really sure, but either way, I got this recorded at least. Right on the time that I got it, so there might not be a lot of people who have gotten it and are selling it yet. So I didn't see this Nightmare on Elm Street pillowcase up there. Ooh, it looks like it's licensed and everything. It's got a Nightmare on Elm Street and related characters. It's got WB and New Line on it. Oops. So that's good. They're both listed right there, but it is a Nerd Block exclusive, so, but sorry about the little tangent. But anyway, so I just sort of looked up I just went to Amazon and typed in some prices for, things that I knew had designed pillowcases. And they're right around $10 or $12, so I'm guessing that for a price. The first couple might go for a few dollars more, because it is kind of a neat design, and the pillowcase aspect really does fit the theme of A Nightmare on Elm Street. The thing is, you don't want to sleep, so pillowcase greatly associated with sleeping with a movie that basically frightens you about sleeping. So it really does fit well. So the first few of those might go for a few more. The last item, the Rue Morgue. It's just $10. That's what it is. It just says it right on there. It's one that they just put in there, and it always takes up $10 worth of the value. I don't read it, so it's not my favorite. I kind of wish it wasn't in there, but some people might, so they have it in there. I did some adding up of values, and I got somewhere between 64 and 73. 73 is putting things on the high end, and I don't think that the prices really for the high end are justified. You'd probably be able to get them cheaper, closer to the lower end. You might even be able to get them closer to 60. I don't, depending upon whether you can get a good deal and how low the pillowcase goes and how low some of these prices end up going. And I'm sure that the movie will go back down in price as people try and sell it again on eBay. I don't know what the complete demand for it is. I mean, if it was a movie that you couldn't find that had a huge demand, then it'd have a great price, but I don't know what the demand on this is, so the price isn't necessarily going to increase as much as is on other things. So I'm really just leaving that one at about 12. So, you know, not really my favorite month. I just ended up with I ended up with a pop figure that I had, just sort of a generic Buffy, sort of a generic Angel pop figure. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I did like the pillowcase, so that is one positive. It's just a small part of the box. The movie, I'll probably watch it, but once again, it's not really horror, so I don't know that it fits the block as well. Rue Morgue, as I've said, I don't read it, therefore it's pretty much worthless to me. And the shirt, I mean, it's got a decent design, but it's kind of hard to tell, you know, just at a glance that they're referencing Jaws. So on that design, you know, on that front, it's just, do you like the design of the shirt? Because, you know, otherwise you'll have to sort of explain it to people unless they get really close up. So this is definitely not my favorite month. I'm definitely going to keep this block around at least for next month, and so just because it is one of the main horror themed blocks, and I do at least like some of the items in there. I mean, definitely wasn't as good as last month. Last month's I really enjoyed, and looking at some of the stuff, depending on what they do with those franchises, the Treehouse of Horror could be interesting, as well as Psycho. So I'm kind of looking forward to next month, and I will see you then, or on one of my other videos. Who knows? Until next time.